Imagine an adjustable bench that doesn't just incline and decline, but also turns into a leg extension and leg curl machine, a belt squat station, a Nordic curl setup, a hip thrust and split squat bench, a full pull-up and dip bar station, chest supported row, ab machine, and a lot more. I spent the weekend here testing every attachment on this bench, so stick around because this thing might actually replace half the equipment in your gym. What's going on, guys? Dave here from ObeyStrength.com, and today we're at the Tib Bar Guy headquarters to review a brand new product from their new fitness equipment line, Apex. All right, guys, so this is the Apex adjustable bench. So when you first look at it, it's gonna look like a normal bench, but I'll tell you now, this is a pretty solid, heavy-duty bench. As you saw, allows you to add all those attachments to it. But let's talk about the bench first. So first off, this is gonna look like a solid bench here. It's pretty stable. It weighs about 115 pounds. I'll put the right one on the screen. But in terms of the pad, first, the pad's nice, comfortable. This is what you're gonna find on a pretty high quality type bench. Nice, long enough so that you could perform your seated shoulder press, your incline bench, and make sure that your upper back and your head is nice, secured, and resting on the bench. What I like about it also, that's the width itself, right? So especially those people who bench, right? If you really wanna bench on this and you wanna make sure that you can really put your shoulder blades on the bench, it's wide enough for that. To go from a decline of 10 degrees all the way to 85. I like it that's also nice and quiet. For example, there we go. So that's your 85 degrees. This is good because I see a lot of benches will stop at 75 or 80, so 85 is great. The more upright for those shoulder presses is gonna really be helpful, and also just for things like your seated bicep curls, some lateral raises as well. It's gonna be nice and solid. So it goes in 5-degree increments all the way down to 0, and then it has that extra minus 10 degrees for your decline bench, decline Nordix, and a few other exercises. So I like it that it has these nice knurled handles here. Great just to really get a good grip on this when you're moving it up and down. And you'll slide it all the way down. So this is gonna be your 0 degrees, and then right there, all you do is just lift this handle and then slide, and it'll go into that decline position. The butt pad here is wide, good for pretty much anyone. I like that it's also tapered. That way it's a little bit more like ergonomic for the body. It not only goes into an incline, but also a decline. So incline all the way up to 30 degrees, and then the decline is gonna go all the way to 20 degrees. In the middle, you're gonna find that screw, the main mechanism, the main hinge that's gonna allow it to incline, decline. What I like about it is that it's not flush with the bench, meaning when you're benching, you're laying on it, whatever you're doing on this bench, you're not gonna feel that pressing up onto your body, which is definitely gonna be a little uncomfortable. Nice and comfortable when you're performing exercises on this bench. On this side here, you're gonna find there's these pegs, which will allow you to add some bands onto this. Let's put that back down. What I like is that it's magnetic too, so as you press it down, it'll stay in place. In the front here, we're gonna have your handle. It's gonna be knurled as well. When moving the bench around, it's gonna be a lot easier to move it around your gym, and pretty easy to pick up. So one, the bench is going to stand in a vertical mode. That's gonna help, just for your storage, whether you wanna put it in the corner of your gym against the wall. And the wheels are also real good. No resistance on it, feels great. And then down here at the bottom, what I like is that they display the numbers, everything from that 0, 15, 20, 25, all the way to your 85 degrees. And the great thing about this black here is that you could actually change this. So they're actually gonna offer multiple colors that you could add onto this. I believe right now they have white, red, and blue. And those are just gonna be other options for you if you wanna customize it more for your favorite colors, the theme, the style of your gym. Ignoring the attachments right now, just looking at the bench of what it is. It's a nice solid bench. You're definitely gonna be able to, bench heavy weights, anything from 135 pounds on the bar, all the way up to 500, 600, 800 pounds. If you could lift that, then everything in between, so your dumbbell curls, whatever the case is, this is gonna be a nice solid bench. All right, so looking at the bench, in the front and the back of the bench, you're gonna have these openings, right? So right here is your first opening, and this is gonna allow you for some of those attachments that you're gonna see later on. They pretty much just slide in, and you're gonna have some of those knobs down here, those metallic ones that are knurled. And again, that's just to help secure the attachments. So yeah, and then on the opposite side, you're gonna find 2 more. You're gonna find one of those inserts right here and one at the bottom. Again, that just allows you for different attachments to place them in the right spot. Some of them will require you to put them on the top, some will require at the bottom. But again, they're gonna have their openings here, and they're each going going to have those knobs again to fasten or to secure those attachments. That's all in terms of the bench itself. Let's actually move over to some of the attachments. All right guys, so this is the leg extension, leg curl machine attachment for the Apex adjustable bench. So if you're a garage gym owner, you know it's really hard to get leg extensions and leg curls, a machine, one, because of space and even because of the cost, right? Just take up a lot of space. You need a lot of space for that. And then even just the cost itself, right? So those are gonna run up over $1,000, $2,000, even some are $3,000, especially you're buying the combined one, a leg extension and curl machine. Yeah, for our garage gym owners, anyone who wants to add those, this is a game changer. This is a plate loaded system. One of the main things people see is that when there are plate loaded extension and curl machines is that they lose some of that resistance curve, right? Most of the complaints are that you don't feel that resistance at the bottom of the movement, or with a leg curl, when you get to the top, you kind of top off and you lose some of that resistance. Now with this, over the weekend, I've been doing, I promise you, over 100 leg curls and leg extensions. My legs are so sore, but I felt every single rep. You feel it from the bottom, from the top. It's great. So let me show you how to set this up. This is all one piece here. I already have it preset for my length, but you would pull this knob and you could adjust it up and down based off your height. And you have another knob down here on this side here where my hand is. That's what's gonna adjust the height of this here. So if you're someone a little taller as well. A few things before anything, you take off this pin. Cool thing is they did add a little spot for it, so you could actually just attach it here so that you don't lose that pin. All you're gonna do, you're gonna lift, and boom, from there, now you just pull on that tab. There you go. There we go, it's on, and then you do wanna go ahead and secure it. You wanna screw it a little bit, lift, and there you go, it's on the ground. So even though this is weight loaded or plate loaded, you could also use a cable machine. Let's say if you don't have enough plates, maybe your weights are too light or maybe even too heavy, but you do have a cable machine, it allows you to attach it to a cable machine for your leg curls or your hamstring curls, so you could do a cable leg curl variation. You're just gonna go ahead and take a seat here. You have the pads back here for your feet. They went ahead and they even added some handles down here. You could do that. You could hold on to the bench itself, or this also allows you to kind of lean back a little bit just so you get a bigger stretch of that rectus fem. Some people don't feel much of resistance. On this side here, they don't feel it to about like 30 or 40 degrees. This one, I can tell you now, I feel it here. So this has good resistance and this feels solid. From rep 1, rep 2, I already feel like, okay, these quads are getting work done. That feels good. It's smooth, right? That's one of the things I want to make sure also. Is it smooth? Is there any clutter? Is there extra resistance you feel? No, this is just a nice, smooth leg extension. So these are gonna be your leg extensions. Let's go over to your hamstring curls now. So for this one, again, like I said, I already preset this one for me, but if you're someone taller than me, you'll just adjust this a little further. You'll lay down, awesome. So you need, your thighs are gonna rest on those top pads here. They even went ahead and added handles onto here. So yeah, handles on this side. You could put the handles away and bring them out only when you need them. So you could hold on here, hold on to the bench, whatever is more comfortable for you. But from here, once you're ready, you just curl, control it back down. Yeah, this feels solid. I hope the microphone's not being crushed and you can hear me, but this feels solid. A good stretch here, curl away. Yeah, right here, I still have tension on there. I don't lose it. Control it back down. Yeah, this is definitely a game changer. Like I said, for a garage gym owner, a clinic owner, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on just that one piece of equipment that's gonna take a lot of space in your gym. This, I like it. You could just put it on the side. It stands up on its own, especially for people who wanna isolate the quads a little bit more. If you're a garage gym owner, you're probably doing squats, lunges, you're doing all these exercises, or just loading your spine, or require you to hold onto a lot of weight in your hands, like weighted lunges. This is gonna be a great way for you to isolate your quads, give your spine a little bit of break from all that heavy lifting and just get a good workout. And same thing for hamstring curls, right? One of the only ways to really train them are doing hinging movements. So your good mornings, your RDLs, your deadlifts, your stiff leg deadlifts, single leg RDLs, right? Those are exercises that just load the spine a little bit, require you to hold on to a lot of weight. So this allows you now to isolate those hamstrings a little bit more. Let me go ahead and show you guys the next attachment. All right guys, so next up is the Nordix curl attachment. This one's a simple attachment, very easy to put. It just attaches right over where the butt rest is. Right here, all you're gonna do, you're gonna grab this one, put it here, and There we go. So it allows you to move in the whole piece further and out, depending on how long your legs are. And then also you could adjust the rollers, put them higher and lower. This exercise, you know, as you guys have seen, you've probably seen a lot of my videos, hamstring Nordic curls are very tough. But this is a great way for people to just add them to their gym, right? Whether, let's say if you don't purchase the leg curl, leg extension machine and you just wanna focus on your Nordics, or let's say you have both of them, but you really wanna strengthen those Nordic curls, you know, really beef up your hamstrings, this is a great exercise for it. In terms of the pad, right? So when you're doing Nordic curls, you wanna have a good amount of cushioning for your knees, right? You want something that's pretty wide so your knees can rest here. The good thing about the bench here is that if you purchase the Nordic attachment, they also have for you to get the additional piece. It's an additional butt rest here, but that has systems that they could open up a little bit more. That gives you a lot more clearance for your knees and makes this a little bit wider so that your knees could rest on the pad. So if you perform your Nordic curls with the knees just a little bit more outwards, it just makes it a little bit more comfortable. I'm able to perform it with just this piece here, but even when I put that other piece attachment, I noticed that, yeah, the hamstring curls the Nordic curls feel a lot more comfortable. It feels nice and sturdy, so when I'm doing these Nordics, I don't feel like my legs moving a lot. I don't feel anything like that. It just feels nice and sturdy. Definitely a great add-on if you're someone who just really enjoys that, especially if you're a sprinter, you know, whether you're a soccer player, a football player, someone who just really wants to, like I said, beef up your hamstrings, keep them nice and strong. This is a great attachment. Let me show you the next one. All right, guys, so next attachment is the Barrett belt squat. This is actually pretty sick. I don't know if they intentionally trying to make it like a rifle or not, but that name Barrett is definitely awesome. With the slant board here, this allows you to perform belt squats for those who just don't want to load your back with back squats, front squats, whatever the case is, and you just want to get a really good pump for your quads. It allows you to do calf raises, you know, standing calf raises. Take off one screw so that you could put the loading pin and you can put it up and go ahead and reattach that screw. Then you have the other one. So this one actually includes a handle, and it also allows for you to do a few other exercises I'll show you soon. So that goes in there. Perfect. And it comes with a kickstand. Perfect. You need to set this in that -0 degree decline. Now all the weight is laying on here. So you might think, man, this is such a short lever, it definitely can't, you know, give you a good workout. Here's the thing, the lever is actually at the end of the bench. So when you perform those squats, it's moving the whole bench up and down, and that becomes a really long lever, and that's gonna put a lot of stress in the quads in a good way. It's gonna really stress them in a good way, build those quads, get that pump. All right, so it comes with a belt, and it also comes with a cable for those who are a little taller. You could put a carabiner and attach it to your belt for you tall people, but short kings, we don't really need it, so I'm gonna put that away for now. This allows you to put multiple 45s. I was able to put 5 45-pound plates onto this, and it worked perfect. And one of the cool things is that the Apex includes with this are these little spacers, right? So I'm sure if you guys have ever done belt squats with a loading pin, is that when you put weights on it and then you're trying to remove it, it's so hard to remove them. You don't really have space to put your fingers under the plates and lift them up. So these little spacers will allow you to actually make it easier to load and unload some plates. You'll perform your belt squats, you have a handle to hold on to, you put the weights here. This is where you put your pin. There you go. So you would stand, boom, ready to go. It has a kickstand, and you'll perform your squats. Apex created this cool slant board that also doubles as Tib Bar Machine. And here's the cool thing about it. It has this little plate that you could detach. Now that belt squat has a little bit of extra range so it doesn't crash onto your slant board. Detach, you stand up, remove the pin, and you are ready to go. Even for me, at the bottom, this is still not hitting. But if anything, you could always move back. You could adjust the slant board as much as you want. Yeah, you get full range of motion here. I don't feel like I'm changing the mechanics. I'm not leaning too forward, too back. You could lean back and make it feel kind of more like a pendulum squat too, but this is solid. This feels great. You go all the way to the top. You can put your hands here. That's one of the best things, right? So you could sit back, right? Really put all that stress on the quads. So this is solid. You could even adjust here, right? So if you want the handles a little closer to you, if you want it a little closer to you, or just further from you, there we go. And then this is just very easy to put away. I like to just bring it up just as a little easier. Take this screw off, bring this back down. Make sure the kickstand's at the top, unscrew, pull, and there you go. So this is basically like a 3-in-1. You could do your goblet squats, you know, anything you could do with just your slant board, right? Sit at the bottom, come back up. Your skater squats, whatever you want, use it as a slant board. It has really good grip, a really good angle. I'll post the angle somewhere up here so you know. It has that removable piece for the belt squats. You could also use it for your calf raises as shown earlier. Just stand on it, perform calf raises. You flip it around, and we have your standing tib raises. So that's it for the belt squat and the slant board. Let me show you the next attachment. All right guys, so next up is a Stryker Pad. So this is basically gonna be your like chest supported row pad. You'll put it at the top of the bench and right there. You can do it as high as you want. I like to just set this pretty much at the 0 degrees. From here, you could adjust the levels, right? You could incline it at different ways. Let's try maybe with this degree here. You lean on it, right? And now you can perform your dumbbell rows, your barbell rows, your single arm rows. And you could even perform preacher curls, like a single arm preacher with this. So from here, you could incline it, maybe about here. You could either do it standing or you could do it seated, right? If you're a little taller, you just put this a little lower. But now this allows you to perform also your single arm preacher curls. My favorite is those chest supported rows. Stand in different ways. It supports your whole body. So if you want to have like more weight on your legs and then a little bit on the pads, or you could have your legs all the way back, kind of like performing a seal row. Plus it just adds the variety of also performing other exercises, right? You could do your I's, Y's, and T's where you lay down with light dumbbells and move those arms into different directions. Like if you're rehabbing your shoulders, or if you want to do it as a warm-up, that's another option you could do here. And just the preacher curls, right? If you really want to hammer those biceps, this is a great accessory, a great attachment for your bench. All right, let's move over to the next attachment. All right guys, so the next attachment is going to be an ab roller. So it's gonna be great for anyone who wants to add a little bit of extra training for their abs, right? Doing sit-ups, crunches. So you're gonna slide the attachment over. There we go, make sure it's nice and locked. You could perform sit-ups here, and if you actually flip this over, you could actually go ahead and perform leg raises. You could adjust the angle, right? The less of an incline, the easier the exercise is gonna become, but you could even actually test this all the way at 60, or was it 70? I think it was 60 degrees I tested this. It was a little hard to perform, but definitely able to do it, and this was not shaking around. It was nice and stable. I think for most people, they're gonna do somewhere around like a 45 degrees, 50 degrees, somewhere there. You do have a handle here, right? That's gonna help you when you're getting on and off of it. Those same handles that you use to adjust the incline, you could actually step on them. They're nice, knurled, so you could actually put some weight on it, step on it, and that's gonna help you go ahead and actually get onto this machine. Let's go over the next attachment. All right guys, so next up is this one right here. So this is gonna be your attachment that you could allow now perform hip thrusts, you could perform split squats, you could perform sissy squats, right? There's so much you could do with this one. First you'll attach. Sissy squats are gonna be great to just isolate, really put more stress onto the quads. You could perform this with a kettlebell, a dumbbell, technically with a barbell as well. To get more range, we'll set it into the decline option, and we just go into that little squat right here and back up. That is pretty much all quads, right? But that is such a great way to work on those quads. Like even here, body weight without any resistance, I could feel those quads really firing, really working, like if you're really isolating them. From here, it has a little pull here, and you remove this piece, right? And now you have this piece, right? So a few things you can do this. One, you can do your split squats. So you can put one leg here, just go straight into those split squats, right? Really work on those quads, a really good compound single leg exercise for the quads. Then we can do hip thrusts on this. This has a cool little pin that you could lock in place, and you could do your hip thrust from here, or the guys at Apex actually went ahead and put this pin that allows you to keep the pad rotating. Now you have this revolving, right? You have this moving. Here we go. So I think in my opinion, this works a lot better compared to do it on the bench. Feels natural. Get a bar, a dumbbell, whatever you want. Perform your hip thrusts. You can perform a single leg as well. Many different variations. You can perform preacher curls with this single arm and both arms. Let me show you. All right, we'll take that off. We'll put it back at that 0 degree position. Now it has that top attachment piece, right? We're gonna put it right over here. There we go. So now that unlocks the ability to perform barbell or easy bar curl preachers, right? Just single arm where you can now kind of like support yourself here. They also include this cool little piece. Let me find it. They even include this little piece right over here. With this, you're just gonna attach it over on this side, right? There we go. And now it's gonna allow you to rest a barbell on it. Come down, right? You're gonna pick it up set yourself, and now from here, ready to do your curls. Yeah, this feels great. And then once you're done, you just kind of stand up a little bit, rest it, and you're ready. Doesn't even make noise. It makes a little bit of noise, but it actually felt really good. Let me get another set. Let's do more of a closer grip. It's just right there. Oh yeah. Now you can add preacher curls. Yeah, this feels great. Here, control it back down. Sick. I like this also rounded, right? So that top piece is rounded to make the hip thrust more comfortable. Your split squats, so your foot kind of rests on this piece a little bit better. With all those exercises, if you have more of a kind of flat surface, right, where it kind of just like is a square, it's probably gonna dig into your back, into your leg, whatever the case is, not be the most comfortable. So having this rounded is definitely gonna feel a lot better, and it's rounded in the bottom part as well too. And we're not done. There's actually another exercise you can perform here, tricep overhead extensions. How do you do that? Well, first let's take off this guy right here. Let's put this on the side. Now, remember how I told you this rotates, this flips around? Let's flip it all the way, right? So just to here. Let's keep it right there. Now you could flip over. And here we go. Now you have a back rest for yourself. Get a dumbbell, kettlebell, or even an easy bar. Perform your tricep overhead extensions right over here. You can perform single side, right? Single arm, or even both arms. So with this, you have your sissy squats, your hip thrusts, your Bulgarian split squats, your preacher curls, and your tricep overhead extensions. Let's go over to the next attachment. All right, so one of the next ones is just a landmine attachment. So easy, simple product, but it's a game changer for anyone who has a garage gym. Most people are putting landmine attachments on their rack, or they're just throwing their barbell in a corner of a room and just doing landmine exercises there. So this post is gonna be great. It just attaches in the bottom piece right here. So it's gonna slide in right here, put a pin, lock it in place. And the good thing about it is that it has pieces of plastic in there to help protect your barbell, prevent it from scratching and just damaging it, and different ways to go ahead and secure the barbell in place. It rotates, it goes up in all different directions. So, you know, if you're limited in space and you need to perform the exercises more in one direction, whatnot, as high as, you know, straight vertical and all the way straight down, it pretty much moves in all directions. You don't have to really worry about being limited in motions, but it allows you to perform so many exercises. Your landmine, you know, shoulder presses, benching, RDLs, split squats, lunges. There's so much you can do with a landmine. So this is a great piece to pick up if you do happen to buy the Apex adjustable bench. All right, let's move over to the last attachment. All right, and the last attachment is gonna be this pull-up slash dip station. So this one, it comes in two pieces. It comes in the main piece, which is gonna be mostly for like your dips. It comes with an extra attachment so that you could make it a little bit higher and now make it into a pull-up station. So with this one, very simple, doesn't weigh too much, but definitely it's like a weird angle and, you know, thing to hold. But basically you pull here and just make sure it's nice and secured. There we go, make sure this isn't moving anywhere. And obviously this looks a little weird, but that's why. Bring this up, and you wanna bring this up to about 70 degrees. 70 degrees is the recommended for this exercise. But yeah, now it becomes your full pull-up station, right? You have to pull up here, you have your wide grip, you have your more like neutral grip. There's a pad here that you can remove, but you could also go ahead and perform your reverse like close grip. So yeah, this pretty much becomes like your power tower, right? Allows you to now do these pull-ups in the gym. If you don't have a rack, maybe if you're using like one of those squat racks that don't have a pull-up bar on the top, this is gonna be a great way to just be able to add pull-ups. Yep, feels solid. It was tested with about over 500 pounds. I don't really think anyone's gonna be getting up to 500-600 pounds at all when it comes to pull-ups. But that's your close grip, sorry, that's your neutral grip. You have your wide grip and even like a more like closer grip here. This bar here is gonna have that knurling, so that's gonna add a little bit to your grip. This is gonna be more like solid type grip. I don't know what you'll call it, but there's just no knurling in that one. You do have knurling in the center here. Let's lower this down for a second. Right, you can remove that. And then I do want to know also that it does have a little window here so you can see the numbers, so you can know at what height you have it for your pull-ups, or you know, if you want to just always remember at what height to put it. It has that little window. But yeah, so like I told you, there's two pieces here. So let's go ahead and remove one. So there we go. So you could ditch this piece. Again, this is the piece to just use it for pull-ups, but we're gonna put that away now. Now we have this piece here. So go ahead, you insert it. There we go. And now bring this right back up again. now you have your dip station. So from here, you can perform dips. One thing I do want to know, I want you to see is that it's pretty high, right? For someone my height, I'm 5'5", I have to jump for this, right? So I can't just dip from here, I have to do a little jump, and now I'm in position. So obviously that's not gonna be the most convenient, and especially if you have like a dip belt and now you're doing weight, it's not gonna be the most comfortable. I think by just putting some type of box under here or even using a step here, right? And that makes it a little bit better, right? Get into position. But I think the quick fix is just gonna be using some type of box, something that you can step onto, and that's gonna be the last attachment, right? So you have your pull-up station with the second piece to make it higher to do your wide grip, your close grip, reverse grip pull-ups. Then you can remove that second piece and only attach this top piece. So now you have access to a dip bar and your leg raises. But yeah, that's gonna be the last attachment for the Apex adjustable bench. All right, guys, that's gonna be all for the Apex adjustable bench. So like I said, it's a solid bench. You know, it does the job right of being a bench first, right? But then just having those attachments, right? From the leg curl, leg extension, your Nordic curl, your belt squat, your pull up, your dip station, you know, preachers, all of those are awesome attachments that pretty much just help solve a problem, just having too much equipment in your home, right? If you wanna kind of just condense down, right? Keep one small equipment, a bench, and just have attachments for that. It opens up a wide variety of exercise for you to perform, even unlock some like the belt squat for people who just, you know, can't load a lot of weight onto their back. And like I said, the leg extension, leg curls, right? A machine that pretty much no one buys for garage gyms just because of the price and its size. This pretty much beats that, right? It allows you to add that to your gym without the cost and without the space. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I wanted to just quickly touch up on every single attachment, kind of give you a good idea of each of them. Please remember these are all pre-production, right? By the time that these products arrive, they're all gonna be, you know, refreshed in terms of better quality. They're all gonna have different bolts, you know, they're gonna have more flush screws on them, better ergonomics. Things are gonna flow a little better. These are all just test models, but in terms of the design, the style, and what the equipment does, they're all gonna be the same, right? You're still gonna have your belt squat, your leg extension, leg curl. They're just making minor adjustments to them because these are pre-production. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I hope this gives you a good idea of what to expect for each piece of equipment. You know, if any of you are watching this video to just get a better idea of each one, I hope this video helped you. And I would really appreciate if you guys consider subscribing. If you're looking into more strength and rehab equipment reviews, you could either subscribe to me here, but also check out my website at obeystrength.com. Go ahead, like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about each of these, let me know which one is your favorite, and I hope you guys just have a great day. Peace.